What is up, you guys? We are back here. It's me and the Holsum one repping the U, and we're going to be
Of
talking some
course.
Canes today. So, the first thing we're going to hit off is the workouts, I guess. There's been progress, and there's been some obvious need for progress. And I guess I'll let Wholesome One hit it off, hit his notes, how he's feeling this offseason is going, and then I'll add my comments. And we'll be watching the chat. Y'all definitely drop your comments there. My number's there. Call it in. Me and Wholesome One should be able to hear you. And we'll get talk some Kings tonight. So Wholesome One, it's yours.
The beautiful part about college football is it's ever changing. Every single year, someone could take that chance and come completely out of nowhere. Quentin Williams of Alabama last year was a non big name dude and came out of nowhere and literally was a top five draft pick. And that's something that our players can do. Not saying like Robert Knowles will come from being walk on status to All American, but at the end of the day, it's about the progression of our players. And to hear them talk about work and how it looks so much different under Coach David Feely than it was under the previous coaching staff brings joy to my heart. Um, them talking about the pit, dog, being able to go, the pit is like sand, and them going from straight to on-field drills to running into the sand pit on the side and having to do the same drills that they just did on the grass in the pit. And then anybody who's ever ran on sand or anything like that, it's a lot harder to maintain your balance, to stay low in order to do your drills instead of popping up. And one of the things that Nesta Silvera said that was really cool is that the coach says, your legs are liars. You can still keep going. It might be burning, it might be you might feel like you're about to quit. Keep pushing. And things like that later on in the season when you get into week 8, when you get into week 9, 10, 11, that's when you think back on how hard you worked and how much you deserve, and not to quote Al Golden, but you deserve victory. You deserve to go out there and get these W's because you've put the proper work in. And that's the thing, and Coach Manny Diaz said in his interview this past week, um, that I have on my channel. Go check that out. Is that everyone's working hard. When people get up and say it's so cliche to be like, "Oh, I worked hard to get here." Did you truly work to the point where you have to get the W? Like there's nothing stopping you in between you winning and getting achieving the W. The only thing in between that is you putting in the work to make it necessary. When you have the close games, when North Carolina has you on the ropes, if Duke has you in a close game, which we should never ever be in close games with them, can you
Mm-hmm.
come through and get the W in North Carolina, in Blacksburg, things like that? When we go at Virginia years, next season, things like that. When you're on the way, you're away, you're in the all white stormtrooper, and the crowd is chanting "You suck, Stug, you," and all that other stuff. Can you push through it and go make a play as a defensive tackle, catch a key pass as a wide receiver, make a key game sealing block as a left tackle? Can you do those things? Yes, the answer to that should be yes because you put it in. You made that key block in training camp. You made that key catch second week practice of the season that you were grinding against the ones. And it's all about making sure you do the necessary things to be a champion. And the University of Miami is getting close to that with Coach Blake Baker, Coach Manny Diaz, Coach Dan Enos, and Coach David Feely moving forward.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and you couldn't have said it any better. Hey, I gotta step away for like quick second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, someone's at my door.
No, you're good. You're good. Let me pull up on here the chat so that I can interact with the chat. Hope everybody's having a great day. I don't know if you guys can see or hear me. Um, I don't know if anybody can hear me. Yo, yeah, I'm the only one on here. Hey, that's kind of cool. All right, here we go. Buddy's on there. Canes for life. What's up, Wholesome? How y'all doing? What's up, Joseph? What's up, Kim? How y'all doing? Police are at the door. Buddy, you're crazy. How y'all doing, man? Liberty City boy, how y'all doing? What's good with it? How's everything going with everybody? Kim Everett, how you doing? DeAndre too, what's good with you? Good to see y'all in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all coming through for the channel. Okay, y'all can hear me good. All right, perfect. Which game will I be attending this year? It is the Orlando Kickoff Classic versus Florida. I'll be at that game. Any other personal questions? Even one-on-one questions for me. While I'm here before that guy comes back. Praise the Lord, everybody. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. I think all of us do a real good job, man. Bringing how we personally feel about the youth to the conversation, dog. It's not the easiest thing to do. With people criticizing you or people in the comment section, it's not the easiest thing to do. But at the end of the day, like if you stand your ground as a man about how you truly feel about something, you shouldn't really care about how anybody feels. All right, first question. Do you think we're going to have new uniforms this year? I mean, I don't really see a need for new uniforms. Are we winning enough to deserve these new uniforms? Mike? And what kind? I mean, I like the Miami Knights, but I mean, we're 500 in the Miami Knights. So I don't really know if it's giving us if it's really doing anything for us to have new uniforms. Where are you living again? Buddy, I live in Fargo, North Dakota. What's going on with recruiting? It's early in the process, and no one has played any football. And honestly, truly, the people who have decommitted could kick rocks. The JUCO transfer will push the star at guard. Nasty attitude with a. I mean, at the same time, we had the same feeling about Tommy Kennedy, as far as he could come and really contribute to the team, and he can't. He's shown that he can't, and that he won't. How do I feel about the decommits from yesterday? Just as simple as this: either you're a Cane or you're not. And I tweeted that yesterday. I like the classic uniforms. Everybody likes the classic orange on white vibe. I'm more of the green is my favorite color, so I loved the all green that we came out with against Florida State, and we got a W against them. Loved it. Won't be able to stay, but just wanted to say hey and support my case. So appreciate you, Junior and the Big Dog. Thank you all. You guys are doing well and growing as a channel. Liberty City Boy, love your content. Holsum, keep grinding, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. I try to make sure I upload daily. If I don't upload daily, I'm keeping up my top fives or my top tens. I used to give out what my top tens will be, but some people like to steal your ideas when you do stuff like that. So I just keep it at check it out when you get a chance. Yeah, coach, restart that. I can't take an L like that. That's and playing against my old squad. Yeah, there's no way in the world. And you just out here throwing pick sixes and falling down and throwing the ball in the air. Okay. I think they say no new uniforms. Takes a couple of years. Miami Knights probably they still will use. Roger Shaw. Honestly, the biggest thing with the uniforms to me is it's a recruiting tool. I don't care what anyone says. Everybody's like, oh, Bama's traditional, and you just want to go out there and orange and white, black cleats and black socks and play traditional Miami Hurricanes. No, no. If you want to be a part of that, Ohio State is one of the most traditional programs, and they have alternate unis. Michigan has alternate unis. They use them in rivalry games. Michigan for years only wore yellow pants. Now they wear white. They wear black. So come on, man, with the alternate uni thing. Tradition is good if tradition is successful. All right, Anton, you made it back. What's up, man?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Probably have to step away yet again. People going crazy around here. Anyways, yeah, dude. I'm jumping in. I'm hearing uniforms. What is Hook me in. What have I missed?
No,
Uniforms.
all I did was just put in the group chat, hey, if you guys have any questions for me
Uh-huh.
that you want a personal answer. So um, let's see who brought up uniforms.
I got you.
Buddy, he said I like the classic uniforms. And then Buddy Woodard, and then they also said Roger Shaw asked, "Do we think we're gonna get any new uniforms this year?" So
I'm not. Look, I don't like the Alabama vibe where they don't do anything with their uniforms at all. But at the same time, I don't think it's that big of an obsession. Now, I like what Oregon does. I think it's cool, whatever. But like you said, if you ain't winning, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Where's Bella? Bella's right there, man. Hold on. Let me swivel around. She's right there blending in with the bed. There she is. Chilling. Sleepy dog. You know how dogs are. That's how it is. So here's the thing that I wanted to address and bring up to y'all. It caught my attention. I don't know if you guys saw or not. Sun Centennial article was put up. And it was just talking about how guys are working out and the progress is being done and such. And as we know right now, there's not too many news to go around and stuff. There's some recruiting, I guess, but there's off-season workouts where it's at. It is where it happens. And interesting thing that Dia said, which I see people are talking about Williams and QBs and all that. Well, here's all we know. He said the guys are attacking it, Dia said. This is on the Centennial article. They want it hard, and that's what you want. They want to be challenged. They want to not be sure they can finish and then push themselves and see themselves push and find a way to finish. It may have exposed some guys on our team that are more about lifestyle and some guys on the team that are really about the game. That,
my God.
Diaz is lighting a fire, and I don't know who it was that he was indicating on, and I'm not going to say who it could be or couldn't be. That's up to the players to decide, but somebody here is getting exposed where they came for the lifestyle and not the game, and Diaz says that is not what the new Miami is going to be about. I love it. I mean, we're talking about mid-June, and, Diaz is keeping it real. Diaz is not saying like, yeah, everything at Miami is great, loving it, having a little fun at the workouts. No. We're exposing our team right now is what's going on, he's saying. And these guys I love seeing this, how they're pushing and attacking and what the workout sessions are doing to these players and how they are full in on the program. And the guys that aren't, they're just not going to see the field, guys. They're not going to see the field, and that's how it's going to be. Diaz is telling them, you got to love not the lifestyle, but you got to really love the game, and that's what he's looking for. So I love seeing that. And what's up, Kim? Mike, you in North Carolina. Got you, man. Man, we got people from all over the place. I'm from Georgia. We got Carolina. Paul's from Carolinas. Holsum is from Dakota.
Whoa.
He's in Dakota.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. The Holsum or Holloway is from the crib. Now, don't get that confused.
Nah, you right. No, I bet you would never guess where I was born.
Alaska.
All right. I mean, that's a wild guess. No, not Alaska. I was actually born in New York. But I moved there when I was like 2. So like people are like, oh, so technically you're a Yankee. I was like, hold on, don't be pulling on that. I don't know what I was 2 years old. I had no control over that.
Whoa. I mean, the Yankees aren't a bad program to root for, organization to root for. Jeez.
I'm not big into baseball. I'm just saying that I'm not exactly going around and saying I'm a Giants fan or representing the Jets or something. I was like, I mean, that just that ain't what I'm at.
I feel it.
Buddy's on the space station.
So let me ask you this: what, in your viewpoint of what's going on in the program, based on that article, do you see us in a better situation right now than we were exactly a year ago of June 2018?
Yes, I do. And the reason I say that is the big difference that stuck out to me is Rick said, we got to work on some stuff. We got to, improve this, whatever. Deez is saying we got to work on this, but if it doesn't happen, next man up. And oh, by the way, let me ring on the phone and find some guys and get them. And he's actually bringing them these transfers. Like and he's like, look, we've got good cornerbacks, but he's still talking about transfer portal guys from the corner. And I know that rule was new and all that, but that's something that's making me feel better versus last year. And the other thing is the workouts. I mean, this offseason training program is nothing of the sort that they have experienced before. And I'm seeing a vibe, an energy of guys being fully into the program. Like, and nothing against the players, what they're saying, but they're always talking about, we want to win ACC championship. We want to win ACC championship. And I just feel like the focus was different than it is now with this new Miami. And I do believe we're in a better position where we're at now than we were last year, just because the standard is different. The way we go about ourselves is different. And the way we're addressing the needs is different. And I can't wait to see that difference reciprocate on the field, because whatever was happening offseason in 2018, that's what we got game 1 from LSU. And I'm sorry, maybe we were a worse team or not as athletic players, whatever you want to say, whatever we lost that game. My issue was, by the end of that game, there was an effort on the field that I wanted to see. I don't care if you're losing or not. There's got to be effort being put in. On game 1 of your season, come on. You got to be giving all your effort in. And I do not expect any of that to be tolerated under the Diaz era. And that's why I feel like we're in a better position.
I'm with you. My biggest thing as far as the hype train. With the University of Miami, every single season, there's this hype train. We are the off-season warriors. Everybody wants to hop on our train. Everybody wants to be a part of the U and flash it and say they want to be this new and that new, or they don't want to be like the old king, or they do want to be, it's always us on some type of train, on some type of hype train. And I'm tired of it not turning into actual wins, losses, and actually wins in the fall. It's sick, honestly. But do want to give a shout out to Buddy for a $2 donation. His statement was, "Thank you, Anton, for getting the Holsum one on. I truly appreciate the love, continuous love that I get from my Cage family, man. I truly appreciate you all." This U has to. We got to really turn the corner, man.
I'm with you, man.
We got to, because honestly, we are on the verge of really becoming a dead program.
And I don't want to ignore the chat. We're not ignoring it. I'm watching it. Definitely. It's just I don't want to interrupt it. So first of all, Buddy, thank you so much for the $2 tip. Yes, I appreciate Holsum, you getting on. I've been loving doing shows with him. It's been great, knitting in on the community. And we're going to be trying to shuffle it around where the live streams are going to be hosted on, just to get the whole community everywhere. So, but yeah, definitely a huge appreciation from Holsum getting on the show. And I appreciate all y'all joining us. We got 35 people watching on a 7 p.m. on a Friday night, man. That's a great show crowd, and I appreciate you guys. And we're going to be watching the chat, definitely talking with y'all. I threw up my number really early in the chat. I'll throw it up again. Be sure to try to call in and all, and we'll go ahead and talk whatever you guys want. Talk Kenny Kane stuff. There was no fight in the LSU game. Tommy Guns with another $2 donation. Dude, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kyle, what is good, man? Came for live. Rain Man, I see y'all. Junior and the Big Dog. Appreciate y'all being here. Yes, definitely. Hit the like button if you're enjoying. Thanks for that reminder, buddy. Like, y'all got questions, anything y'all want to talk about, we're going to be addressing the chat. We're just here chilling, relaxing. Canes talk, Canes fam, talking. We're whatever you guys can want to bring up and talk about. But here's the question I wanted to bring up. And I had someone in the comment section of one of my videos, a Gator fan, get at it.
Uh-oh.
And they said, along the lines of, and it rubbed me wrong. It really rubbed me wrong. But later, through the conversation, I had more respect. They said, how in the world do you think there's even a chance Miami has in this game? Miami's going to be basically weathering a storm for this game. There's no way this is even a close one. It's a total blowout. You guys are crazy. And I'm like, well, I'm used to the Gator family being all, disillusional and just out of there somewhere else. But that rubbed me wrong. And I said, listen, sir, this ain't going to be weathering a storm kind of game. This is going to be a battle in the trenches. It's going to be huge momentum, huge excitement for both of the programs. They're going to be leaving all of it on the field. I do not see someone running away 54-17. And the points that were brought up was Gator fan keeps talking about Diaz is a brand new rookie coach, rookie head coach this season. And I'm with them. I understand there should be the hype's got to be contained. It's his first year. But this Miami team is not starting from scratch. Okay? This is the same defense that we had, except for even better with some additions that we've had in the transfer portal. And then the offense, I mean, the talent was there, and I love the players, but whatever we had on offense, I'm okay with none of that being this year. There was nothing to talk about on the offensive side of the ball after the end of the season. There was nothing you wanted to look for. So bringing in a guy as Dan Enos is going to complete transition that, and there's a lot that's got to be worked out in the system placed in. But Miami's not starting from scratch. Miami's just rebuilding and transitioning the other side of the ball. And what I'm curious about, and I'm here to hear you, Holsum, what you think about, who's going to have a harder day with the defense? Is Florida's weak offensive line going to have a harder day with our ferocious defensive line? Or is Miami's, it could be tweaked and we're not sure about the offensive line, but more of this is the first game under whatever quarterback we have. So or is Miami on the offensive side is going to have a harder time during the day? Which one do you think of those two is going to have a harder day?
Of course, the Miami in me wants to say that we would have the advantage as far as us on defense against their offensive line, but not having much to say about Dan Enos' offense and not knowing all that it brings. If I look at it from an analytical perspective, I can see why the Gators fans are so excited. The last time the Miami Hurricanes were on the football field as a unit, we looked like utter complete trash. And there's no way around it. A 6-6 Wisconsin team put up 35 or 38 points on our defense.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a Gators fan, I'm excited about this too. And I don't see Miami either. I don't respect us either. And that's where we are going to get the W. It's the fact that we have to show there's a reason why you have to respect us. We got to start standing in the paint, man. And it's going to be up to the men on the offensive line and the defensive line to stand out. And honestly, like you said, to answer your question, I think it'll be a little tougher for us, honestly, because of Florida's defensive coordinator is a pretty good DC. His name is escaping me right now, but he's really good at D. Like he was gonna go take the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator job, but
I
decided
got
to
you.
stay at Florida. So
Mm-hmm.
he's highly touted, and people do like him. So he's gonna have a way of disguising a whole bunch of blitzes and things of that nature to confuse a young, inexperienced offensive line.
I'm
So we're
with
gonna
you,
get highly
but I have a
contested.
counter to that. I'm curious what you think about this one. I think one thing that we have, which doesn't sound like a normal edge, but is the fact that they don't know what our offense is going to look like. They don't have film to look at it. Now, obviously, you're like, y'all don't know your system. You're going to be in danger. But Miami's defense can better prepare for Florida's offense. And I feel
Come
like
on, Jay,
that.
get rid of the ball, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, you good. And I feel like that element might actually give us an edge if we practice and get some good playbook, plays down and use them in the game. I feel like that gives Miami's offense a potential edge over a good, solid defense of the Gators that just aren't exactly sure of what they're going to see and game plan for. What are your thoughts on that counter?
Before I respond, just to be able to keep it going with the chat, Jay,
Definitely.
again, thank you, for the channel for the 4.99 donation by Junior and the Big Dog. He says can't stay with you guys uh, and have to go, but I love my next gen Canes family and love the show. All Canes fans have a great and safe night and weekend, Big Dog. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Send you off with a good one. Be safe, my brothers. But my rebuttal to that statement is we saw what happened when we lined up against a good to great defense against LSU. And no matter how many times we try to make this argument back that things are different, we do not know they're different. We do not know. At the end of the day, we know this. We have a young, experienced offensive line. We have a good offensive coordinator and a good offensive line coach. Those
Okay.
are the facts right now. And we're going up against an inexperienced but talented front and a good defensive coordinator. It's very easy for a defensive coordinator to go up against an inexperienced front because it can show one thing, blitz another way, show one coverage, and really have a different coverage. And they have experience in their defensive back core, does Florida, so they're able to really disguise a lot of coverages on the back end of
Sure.
things.
Sure.
And it's really going to test Dan Enos and whoever our starting quarterback. For me, it's Perry. If it's Tate, if it's Jaron Williams, either way, we're slightly inexperienced at the starting quarterback position. Whoever wins,
Hmm.
because N'Kosi Perry really was only to dabble his feet into the water. He wasn't able to really dive in as a quarterback because every time he tried to get in and make a good play, he got yanked out. Or every
Most
time he
definitely.
went in and made one mistake, he got yanked out. Tate Martell, mop up duty. And honestly, Florida would love to go against Tate Martell. They would love a quarterback who can't pass, who's 5'8" and a quarter with a weak arm. Oh my goodness. You can send blitzes from all over. And then if you blitz up the middle and he has to keep bouncing outside, that's an easy game for a defensive coordinator. As a defensive coach speaking to you, I would much rather play Tate than I would play N'Kosi Perry or Jaron Williams because of their ability to pass. Um, and our inexperience at the offensive line is going to be a big deal. Like I know we don't want to really talk about it, and this is a real show we're having. Like we're speaking facts here.
Yeah.
It's a hard conversation to have, but at the end of the day, we have to build that offense up. The good thing about when we look back into 2013 when we played them, we had a very experienced offensive line that played together in 2012,
Right.
and then they turned around. Um, when we turned around and had to play in 2013, that whole offensive line had a year playing together and building together. Well, the same thing is completely opposite now, to where the only person that really has any experience on this offensive line is Navon Donaldson, to the point where he's had to go play center so that he can help everyone else get
Yeah.
lined up
Yeah.
or and get their calls. And that's a big cause to pause as a 6'6" center. That's not good.
That's not good.
That is
No, it
not
ain't.
that is not good.
It
Because that
that's
means that you're having problems as a line, and your most experienced guy has to play the left tackle. We all know he's not a tackle. He doesn't have the feet for a tackle.
so here's a question I have that I've been thinking about, either you bringing up with the line and such and the quarterbacks. Who do you think is going to have the better day, the running game or the passing game for Miami? And the
Oh,
same thing for
running,
Florida.
running. I think we might be able to run at them early.
Hmm.
Reason being is because I have us getting an early score, whether that be like a punt, kick return, or a pick six. It'll really shake them, like it'll jolt them.
Oh yeah.
Um, the reason why I feel like our passing game would have some trouble is because we might not be able to have the pass protection to really get a good passing game going.
My honest concern with the passing game, I don't feel confident about any of our quarterbacks being able to read coverages and throwing it in the right place. I'm not saying they're inaccurate. I just don't think they can read coverages correctly. And I think they can get baited with Florida's great defense and they'll throw a pick at any quarterback. Any quarterback. And that was one of the Perry's issues. Like, he was great. When he shined, it was shine. But there were some plays during the season I'm just like, you missed it, man. You missed it. And that's okay. Like, he was an experience and couldn't get into vibe and freshman and all that. I just hope that Enos addresses all that. But that's what I'm really worried about on the passing side of the ball. And I don't know if you agree with me on that.
I do to a certain extent. In the comment section, is you're not really liking my comments to a certain extent, and that's a good thing about family. You can have the conversation and disagree, and
Right.
still be able to, still call each other family, still love each other, even though we disagree with one another. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the biggest thing is we had 40 dropped passes last year.
Oh, my God.
Let that sink in. Like people want to go back and talk about how senior day we did well against Pitt, and I get that, but we blew them out, and it could have been 10 times worse if he didn't. N'Kosi Perry at one point was like 3 of 18 with 10 drops, and
Oh,
it
my God.
it makes him look bad. It makes him look like he can't play quarterback, it makes him look like he's inaccurate. But at the
Oh
end of the
yeah.
day, these guys are dropping passes.
I mean, I remember you saw his frustration, his demeanor. He's going at his wide receivers. He's like, come on, guys. I've been like, y'all got to get on board here, please. If not, y'all switch him out. What is going on? And I felt for him. And I'm definitely cannot be excused and forgotten about. That's definitely true. And I hope it's corrected. I'm still unsure about our wide receivers coach, to say the least. I'm still unsure about him.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on that, and I haven't even heard anything to like pause all the negative energy. Like you know how sometimes
I follow.
things
Yeah.
come up and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, well they're turning the corner a bit." They haven't answered any of our questions on this wide receiver coach. I mean, it's gotten to the point where Dan Enos has basically had to coach them,
Yeah,
and
he's doing his job.
that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. I mean, if as the offensive coordinator, it falls on you if it doesn't work. So it's good that he's willing to do that, but he
Right.
shouldn't have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it worries me. I'm not going to lie. I will address that. What is up, Slim Shady Canes? Kyle, great to see you there. Yeah, believe Eno's creative play action plays, pass plays will cause the Gators defense some problems, which could make our O-line better. I'm with you. I hope to see that, and I think that will give us an edge. But we're gonna have to establish a running game for sure to have a good offensive day in this game. Definitely. Perry's talent has been wasted for 2 years. I don't disagree with you, buddy. I don't disagree with you. But I believe when whoever, I just hope whatever quarterback they give him a real chance. And I feel like once they do and let them settle in, they're gonna shine. I'm not telling y'all that this is the next like great Miami legendary quarterback, but I'm telling you, I love what we have in the quarterback room right now, and I'm gonna be happy with whoever his name is called.
You know, if we're having a serious conversation today, if this show is going to be entitled like "Let's Be Real," then let's all put out what it is about this program that just makes you really. My biggest thing that makes me just like really grinds my gears. I'm just saying that
Mm-hmm.
grinds my gears is we have the experience, we have the pedigree, we have people with the want to, and we still don't get it done. Like that irks my spirit. Like to know that Miami-Dade County legend Duke Johnson came here and couldn't win an ACC championship game.
Couldn't even be in one.
Like Joe Yerby, Dade County great. Artie Burns, one of the best defensive backs in Miami-Dade County history and recent history, comes here. And you guys wonder why? You want to really sit and wonder why these kids don't want to come to University of Miami? Bruh, our best players in South Florida come here and it's not changing. We're still getting the same outcomes.
Why do you think that is?
If we're being blunt honest, if we're being blood raw, the same thing is happening with every single great that comes through Miami.
And you're not wrong.
Nothing's
And
changing.
you sit there during the games, and we're not saying, "Oh man, we're making mistakes." It's here we go again. Here we go again. And you start seeing, hey, we're getting confident, we're scoring, whatever, and then mistakes start happening. Plays start just dissolving. Issues are going everywhere. Great players that are supposed to be great are not being consistent, are not showing up, and then before you know it, the game's out of your hands, and you've lost to Duke, a basketball school.
And see, the thing that really gets you is, yo, we got players, and I'm glad this dude is no longer on the program. Y'all can screenshot this, y'all can screen record this and put it in. If bro has a problem, come find me. Pager was a cancer, and I'm thankful to God we got that piece of trash out of our program. This man, after every single game, uploading a highlight tape of him after the game. Are you serious? Are you genuinely serious, bro? And
Is on his highlight tapes. He never put up his drops, did he? I can make a longer video with his drops than his highlight films.
Drops.
I can make a longer video with his drops than his catches during the game.
And to be honest with you, what he did against Florida State, he should have been did. Oh, and buddy, I'm not Coach D. I'm Coach Holloway. Coach D is the other one. It's Delvin. I'm Holloway. I'm Coach Holloway. Um, Cager, what he did against Florida State, bro, that's a 5'8" corner. 6'5", 215, run a 4.5. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You're supposed. Where were you in our big games? Where were you, LSU? And don't forget, the year before, against that very same corner, they threw a jump ball on a key third down, and he let a 5'8" corner out jump him for the ball and rake it out of his hand.
I couldn't believe it when he got out jumped in the effort. I couldn't. I felt for the quarterback too.
And I couldn't understand, like, this dude, if we're seeing this, yo, he still would start the next week. Let that sink in your brain.
Why the heck was that? I was confused about. Was it just his height that Rick was like used to that SEC love? And hey, who picked him up, by the way? Georgia Bulldogs or Kirby Smart? Is that what it is, or what? Why the heck was he still starting? You think?
I mean, I guess you could. The argument that you maybe could have is potential. But what has potential done anything? When has potential done anything for the University of Miami as of late?
You're right. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Because everybody has potential when they come to the U.
It's wrong to say you don't. Who are you to say that you don't have potential? But it's a infactual biased statement, no matter what you're talking about. You're not going to tell a kid you don't have any potential. You can't. You have no right. And right. It's even tougher when a kid does stuff on a lower level when you're like, oh, you have so much potential for this next level. You just got to prove yourself. Let's do this. I mean, Miami's got – maybe it's just kind of a fan of bias, but I feel like we got more of that on our team than any other team I've seen in way too long. This ridiculous – who the heck has more guys go to the NFL draft than wins in a season? Are you – what?
And dog, when is this type of stuff gonna stop?
Exactly.
We've been having this same conversation for 15 years. You go down recruiting. I have a whole pamphlet, a whole book with the recruiting class from 2009 all the way to 2019 that I'm doing a series on of guys that we've brought in, blue chip recruits that we've brought in. And guess what, guys? We're still a middle of the park team. So don't tell me that it's recruiting. Don't tell me that it's coaching. Don't come to me with development. It's bringing in the right guys that's willing to put in the work to where they would much rather go flatline than lose a football game. That's when you have men that would do anything, put their body, their life on the line to win football games. The NFL, the All-ACC, the All-American, stuff like that comes to players who will do anything to be successful. That's when those accolades come. So when people say they have these goals, or I want to be All-American, or I want to win the Heisman, I get that. And that's a nice mindset to have. But what happens if you don't meet those goals? Are you just going to give up? Like, I personally think the goal for the University of Miami for a long time was beat Florida State. And that's why when they went on that 7-game win streak and we couldn't beat them, we would always lose 2 or 3 games after that because the whole season was predicted on us beating Florida State.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we didn't do it, now we have nothing else to do.
So my question is, we keep having this conversation of just untapped potential, doesn't get done, whatever. And my question is, what has to happen for this to change? And it's about time to change. And I feel like you slightly hinted at it and touched it, but I want to make sure we're in agreement. I believe, and I think what you're talking about, the thing that's got to change and is the difference is passion. These guys' passion needs to change. These guys' focus on the love for football needs to change. That's the difference between when things aren't going your way, but you keep pushing on. And like you lose to Florida State and you feel like your whole season's great. It's the guys that are still passionate and love football, I believe, that is going to change us out of that vibe and change. Are you with me? Or do you agree with, or do you think there's something else we got to touch on? We got to do to stop this Miami hype train and staying hype and not meeting expectations and ending with a 7-6 season?
It works hand in hand. A lot of people, and see, here's the thing: as I'm sitting here and thinking about it from a player and as a coach, coaches can hamper a player, and coaches can truly mess up how a coach, how a player would want to go out there and play. Like Nestor Silvera couldn't play for Al Golden. All that playing, like him literally wanting to go out there and break the running back's neck every play, or him getting kicked out of practice for being too aggressive, stuff like that. Al Golden would have just cut him because Al Golden thinks that that's not how you play football. You gotta have, and some people do the whole funny thing like bring back Butch or make Uncle Luke the coach or whatever you gotta do to remind these players. And that's why I like when we only recruit the state of Florida. And I know people hate hearing that. I know people going, Holloway, you always say that, or y'all always think that it's all in-state recruiting because we play football different here. We have a different mindset in this state, especially in the south part of the state. And if you want to have that type of mindset brought in, you got to bring in guys who already have that. You don't even have to implement that. It's
Yeah.
something I can't teach you how to care about it that much. And that's the thing. We sit and have conversation about, up in North Dakota, the big thing up there is farmland and real estate. You
Yeah.
don't have to teach young people up there to care about farmland and real estate in North Dakota State Bison football. Why? Because they just care. It's what they do. It's who they are. So when we go recruit and we walk into a young man's room and we say NDSU wants to offer you a preferred walk on, they will fall to their knees in tears because that's what they worked hard enough to achieve was just a preferred walk on opportunity at North Dakota State. You come to Miami and these kids, they don't care anything about a Miami Hurricanes offer. It don't mean nothing to them. As we saw yesterday, commit to us for 2 years. As soon as Clemson, Bama, Georgia comes, deuces.
Yeah.
Now, you let recruits do what they want to do, but understand that's what happens when you don't win.
Yeah.
You get treated like the side chick when you don't win. You come off a 7-6 season, and you're not gonna get the players. If we do not win 11 games this year, whether it's 11-2 or find a way to 11-3, maybe losing. No, it's no, well, nah, it's you got to win 11 games. You have to stop the bleeding because if you stop the bleeding, then moving into the 2020s, kids will trust this program again. And we got to go out there and fight in every single one of our games. That's the only way these kids will start to trust committing to the U again. Because if you think about it, yeah, people want to say the bag man is coming. But why would Nick Saban have to pay a recruit when all he has to do is walk in and say, every single recruit who has ever, ever played for Nick Saban at Alabama has run through the tunnel in a national championship game?
Yeah. And I saw this article recently that you mentioned that Nick Saban and how he got a recruit from Auburn. You know what he did? I don't know if you saw this or not.
Mm-mm.
He pulled him to a table where he's got all the championship rings. He said, and he had another obviously empty table, and he said, which table you want to be gambling at?
Mm,
Which table do you want to be gambling at? You want to be
period.
gambling at with the one with all the rings or not? And that's
Period.
when the recruit said, I got you, Saban. Bye, Auburn.
And it's funny to see Big Michael Davis in here, Slim Shady Cage talking about Miami not winning 11 games this year. It's people like that with that mindset. It's and see, I understand where you guys are coming from because of the fact that you give and you passionate about and then there's this ideal of being realistic and things that are unachievable. Bro, Miami was never supposed to be good at football.
Yeah.
You have to stop having that mindset of allowing things to seem unachievable. Yes, Nick Saban's first year at Alabama was 7-6. But when are we gonna keep setting the bar at it's his first year, so he has to do mediocre? He could come out and win 10 games easily. If you give him 28 points with him and Blake Baker coaching that defense, there's no way besides maybe Florida that we lose a game on there. Come on now. And I get that. People want to say, oh, you might be unrealistic or you just talking out your behind. I get that mindset also. But it starts with us showing up to games and us giving that energy to our players that we're going to win every game. Whether
Yeah.
you personally think that's realistic or not, you got to get behind that, boss.
I don't see with our schedule it being not realistic. I understand if we were in the SEC, it being like, bro, that's crazy. That's just come on, be a little realistic. ACC Coastal, you are Miami with our just our facilities. With our what we have, I'm not saying like we're crazy rich school or something like that, but we're talking about Duke football program versus Miami. Are you there? I don't see it. I don't see it. And like you said, other than the Florida Gators game, and if it's over 28 points, I'm with you, man. What happened if you don't win? Like you have to say what happened. There's not, it's been a long time for me. Well, there's two different losses. And one's really hurt, and the other one's just disappoint. And the difference is when you lose to a team and it was a sport, it was a game, and it happened. It was out of your control. You gave it your all, and that was just going to be the outcome. That's what it was. Kind of like Deshaun Watson and how he took the Clemson Tigers beating Alabama. Alabama left that game, knowing they gave their all. That was just the sport. That was the game. Clemson gave an inch more, but they didn't. They shouldn't have left, I think, with their heads down in the dumps.
Right.
Miami, on the other hand, goes to a game and then just like LSU, sure, it'd be fine. Like you lost LSU, solid SEC program team, but the way that you lost and the way that you started playing in the fourth quarter, and that's not even the worst example. Like it's just you had no passion or drive by the end of it. And you beat yourself at that game. Miami has been beating themselves at their game, and they need to stop beating themselves and getting it together on the field. And that's when we're going to be meeting our expectations, our hype, is when we stop beating ourselves. And I'm sick and tired of seeing us in our season being basically all epitomized on the fact of we beat ourselves. Like, look, you can lose to Florida State by missing an extra point. That happens, right?
Blocked extra point.
Blocked extra point, correct. But you have no excuse to just be obliterated and destroyed by Virginia or Duke with, like, no passion on the field, nothing together. And I'll tell you what really frustrated me, and I've never seen this felt this or seen this before. I felt like the first loss was it the Virginia game, our first loss last season?
2017 or 18?
Last season, 18.
LSU.
I'm sorry. After LSU, ACC opponent.
Yeah, I think Virginia. I think because we had went on a nice little win streak and beat.
It was we played like media. I think this is it.
Hold on.
I'm looking up. Yes, Virginia. Go ahead.
Okay, Mike. You and Slim Shady. Y'all really starting to get under my skin with this. I understand that it takes time to build a program, but we have the players to do it now. Stop making that excuse.
Not from scratch. We are not from scratch either.
Bro, we have the talent, dog. Y'all tripping.
Our defense is even debatably stronger than last year.
Bro. Dabo Swinney was at Clemson. It took time to convince people that Clemson was even a school. They existed. These people know about Miami. Are y'all using your brains right now? Come on. Miami could literally turn around and be undefeated this season if we get the right amount of points from Dan Enos. Y'all tripping. And this is the type of mindset I blame Al Golden for the way that I used to think like that. Give it time. So every time we turn around, we have to wait until the third year of the coach in order to be relevant again?
No.
And then we win 9 games, and by that time, we've already lost to Florida State. We've already got blown out by Florida. And then what happens if we come out first game against Florida and lose? And it's a very possible. It's a very possible high possibly lose that game. My argument is it's not about if we lose the Florida game. It's how we lose the Florida game.
That's right. How? Michael, can we beat UCF? Yes, we can embarrass UCF right now. If we play out with passion, with our talent, yes. Yes. Why is that a question? UCF, I know what they've done.
The talent. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with somebody who doesn't. Y'all, y'all just stuck in a negative mindset, and I get it. I get it, boss. I really do. Slim Shady, you probably like 50 years old, boss. You probably done been through a lot and seen a lot. You done seen the glory days. You done seen the bad days. Like,
I hate seeing this. I'm sorry. 3 deep. That's what Rick said.
I get that we're not 3 deep, but when you have the argument of being of not being 3 deep, bro, that's the argument of being on the Alabama Clemson level. I'm not saying that we have to be on the Alabama Clemson level, but look at the ACC Coastal.
Mm-hmm.
And how could you say 11 wins is not possible when Vegas only has us not listed at being able to win but 2 games, and that's Florida State and Florida?
Last year, we were favored for every single game except for LSU.
Come on.
Every single game except for LSU. I think the only one that was ever up in the air was FSU or Virginia Tech. That was it.
That's good. And I'll be 23. And I have a more of a positive mindset about our Miami Hurricanes moving forward than you do.
Buddy,
you talking about we can't win 11 games? You psychos? Come on, bro.
If you come to Miami and that's your mindset, you need to leave.
Tripping, man. And you Canes fam, like you 1219 family. I wonder how Lonzo would feel to see you come over here and talk reckless like this. Are you crazy?
Nobody should come to Miami with the idea of it's going to take time to rebuild this program and we can't get to 11 wins. Ever.
Come on, bro. You call yourself Canes family coming here talking like that? We can't win 11 games. We're not 3 deep with 5 stars. Come on, man. Do better. do better. And honestly, Mike, I'm real disappointed. Real disappointed. But I mean, hey, it's whatever. Honestly, it really truly is. Let's go to something else, man. Before I lose my brain.
Positive vibes, man. Yeah, I'm with you, man. With this whole train tracking down. Let's
sorry. Central Michigan on the schedule. Duke and North Carolina. We can't win 11 games. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Like we play in the SEC West, where we got to go at Missouri, at LSU, at Bama, at Georgia. Come on, boss. Do better. Do better.
I'm totally with you. And I'll tell y'all, I'm going to change it. Let's just focus. We got Gators coming up as our opponent. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Me and Holsum will say, what is their number one lethal weapon versus us? And on the other side is so that we need to prepare for. And on the other side is what is their number one weakness, which I think that was too obvious, honestly. I don't even know if we should touch that one. We know their O-line trash and they just got to be fixing. But the question is to me, are we going to create enough havoc on the offensive line to create turnovers? That's going to be the biggest question for that side of the argument. Do y'all feel like Miami's going to win this turnover battle? Are we going to have more turnovers at the end of the game than the Florida Gators? Now, remember, our offense, it's got a new quarterback, whoever it is, and a new system with Enos going against a very stout defensive secondary with a great line as well. Fred says yes.
You asking me too, boss?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think we'll win the turnover battle. The only thing that I have a question about, and it's going to keep coming to this, is offense, man.
Yeah. We
got talent, but are we going to put the talent in position to make football plays, to go out there and make plays? That's about it. I'm really trying to calm down.
No, I'm with you.
But yeah, getting after the quarterback is going to be the biggest thing for us. Can we pressure
Is that the biggest thing that we have to do? Is that our weapon? Getting after the quarterback? Is
Yes,
that the number one?
that's
I'm
the
with
number
you.
one thing
Yeah.
because with us, we can protect our quarterback. If to a certain extent, we have to go like max protection and only send like two people out on passes. I get that, but we got to do what we got to do.
Right.
We have to get after Florida's quarterback. And the reason why we won in 2013, we forced 5 turnovers all in the red zone.
Mm-hmm. That game didn't have a chance of that to happen.
We was after the quarterback. Every single play, we was like in his face. If we were bumping him, hitting him, and things of that nature. So we
3 turnovers, 4 turnovers. I love this. Those are the Florida. I'm not. D-line is legit. Their O-line is rebuilt. 3 or 4 turnovers. I'd love to see that turnover chain. I think if that turnover chain comes out in the first quarter, Gator fans better be ready. If that turnover chain.
Let me ask you this: do you think that the turnover chain could ever get old? Like, are we gonna have to retire it? Because Coach D honestly said that he thought we should have retired it in 2017 because it was so revolutionary, it was so big, and it really made things different for the team. And after a while, you kind of start having a conversation of, all right, because let's say we had an interception versus LSU down by 30. Are we still going to get the same reaction with the chain coming on?
All right, I'll follow that. That's a good question. Where I like what we did, where we didn't keep it the same, and we gave it a slight tweak, and it being fresh and saying this is going to carry. It's a different one. And I think whenever we see the change, so when we see this U1, we remember one season. When we see Sebastian, we see a different one. And we feel differently when we see that U1. We would think Notre Dame blowout Trajan Bandy. When we see Sebastian, we think, it's cool, it looks nice, but
yeah, I would think maybe Florida State 2013. When I see the Sebastian chain, I think of it on Gerald Willis after that forced fumble from Red Wine and the fall on the ball from Gerald Willis. Like that's what I think of when I see the Ibis in my head. Like I said, that U chain, the original one, to me, I like that one more than I like the new one. That's just me. Like everybody doesn't have
I'm with you. I'm with you. And even if we would have had a better turnover season, I still prefer the U1. I'm with you. I think as long as we continue being creative with it, it's fine. It definitely will be different if we start losing meaning to it, where we aren't creating turnovers. But that's Miami's identity. I think it's a good thing to always keep because it's a standard that you bring up that says, this is Miami's defense. This is our style. Our style of defense is creating disruption. We have a chain. Are we using this chain? So if it got old, something good never gets old, right? So the only reason it got old is because it got bad. I think it'll be that cloud, that response, that remembering of that will happen if a coaching change happens. Is the only way I can see that happening. I hope it doesn't happen, and I hope that legacy keeps being continued. Kind of like the lunch pail, I guess, of Virginia Tech thing. But
so you think it could be something that's just around for decades?
I do. I think it's something that, but it's something that resembles because that first season when we brought it out was huge, and what it did to the whole college football culture. Everyone tried mimicking it. Everybody tried mimicking it. So with everyone still having theirs and us stopping with ours, I think it'll be just kind of weird, and that's why I feel like we should continue it with the staff. Holsum, what you cracking up on?
just this comment section, man. This man said that Florida State is a more talented team than us.
I'm sorry. What?
Woo! Hey, man. That's funny. Our system is one thing, but like legitly talented is nowhere in the world that they're on our level. But continue with what you're saying. I'll try to.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, you still doing call-ins? I saw a couple people asking about a call-in. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw up my number definitely down there. Definitely do call-ins. We haven't done a call in a while, so I'm gonna hope the system still works. But Yeah, y'all call in. I think the only headache we might have
It's
is
for like me hearing that person.
you hearing the caller. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them on speaker, and I think it'll be fine. I think. So let me throw up the number, y'all, so y'all see it and y'all can call in. But here we go. Boom. There y'all go. There's that number in the chat. Ring it up. We'll pick it up. We want to hear you guys talk. We want to hear you guys. Any topic, any questions that y'all got, or debates and arguments. Now,
Appreciate you, buddy, man. Thank you for having my back, man. I appreciate that.
That's great. Hey, I'll start this conversation because I know it's going to get heated, but in a good kind of way, I hope. And I want to hear really what the chat has to say, and you too. We have not touched it, and we've tried to stay away from it. But we're going to get at it. It is June, mid-June. Let's talk quarterbacks, guys. Let's talk quarterbacks. Who's starting and why? Basically is how I'm going to approach it. Who is starting and why? Slim J, you can call. I ain't going to block your call. But I can't promise that I'm not going to hang up. But I'm going to be respectful and go ahead, call it. So, Holsum, do you want me to start it off first, or would you go off first? I want to watch in the chat because I want to hear what the fans have to say. We don't talk about the quarterback enough. It's a bit of a quiet. All right, here we go. He's calling in. Oh, boy. Hold on a second. See if we get him. Slim Shady, you can hear us?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hold on. Is this Slim Shady Canes? Are you on the phone?
No, this is Mike Davis.
Mick Davis, it's all good. How you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. I'm just tired of it. You get so hyped. And it's 3 months before season started.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your Holsum? Can you hear him?
Yep.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. But I'm loving what I'm seeing with Diaz's ethic and saying you gotta have a passion for football. You gotta have a passion for football. I don't care about your stars. I want to see your passion. And that's how he's recruiting.
I understand that. And Santana Moss was a walk-on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to him the other day. You don't believe he got his weight built on his wait and see. Only you know what I'm saying is what wait and see. You don't heard this. You don't seen it before. It takes time to build a champion.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I went to Paris City up under Coach Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time to build a champion. None of the kids from Northwestern, Miami Central, Kansas City, they're the top teams in the nation respecting them right now.
Are we getting that respect back this year?
We're getting that respect back, but it's going to take time. And like I said, I booked to University of Central Florida. The kids that we opened up went to University of Central Florida and see what they're doing right now.
I'm with you, man. I definitely we can't overlook talent, and we got to get the local guys back. And I love seeing the fact that Diaz, the season hasn't even started, and he completely overhauled the recruiting team and staff. He completely got it out. It had to be done. I love seeing a guy taking. Some people might say gutsy moves, but I think those are firm administrative moves of saying, "This is my mindset. This is what we're going to do here."
I agree with everything y'all said, but 11 wins, I think if we win 9 games, but 9 or 10 games, but we compete in every one of them. We got to blow out everybody that we need to blow out.
I'm with you. I don't want tight games, but I care about W's under a first year. You know, sometimes your ship ain't going to be 100% built at where you're going to be blowing people out year one, but I think you get W's. And maybe not very pretty W's.
Make it to the conference championship.
Right.
I would compete hard against Clemson instead of 38-3 or 58-0. That show Clemson, hey, I would have put out fighting. Like, we haven't seen that from Miami. There's no disrespect to nobody, but I don't see 11 wins. You got to prove it every week.
Yeah.
You got to prove it week 1. If we lose to Florida in a blowout, that whole momentum will be gone. But if we win or if we lose in a close game, hey, we got something to deal with.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Mike, anything else you wanted to add? Do you want to tell us who you think your quarterback is that's starting and why as of this moment?
I'm for all three of you guys.
Okay. I like hearing that.
I'm up for all three of the guys. As long as you wear that orange and green, I'm for you.
I'm with you, man. I like hearing that.
Perry changed his whole attitude. You don't see Perry in the strip clubs no more. You don't see Perry hanging around the clubs no more. You don't see Perry in the city no more. He spoke his horn, becoming a better quarterback.
There definitely needed to be a standard of character at the quarterback room, and it's seeming that we've seen change there, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, it's going to continue. Like, ain't no stops what's going. But, like, I love Holsum, man. I'm still going to watch the video. I'm still going to like his videos, whatever. But I don't think we got 11 wins in us. 10? No.
Mike, can you hear me?
And compete for the conference championship. As long as we get a plus in the game.
Hold on. Let me put this up. Mike, you able to hear him?
Yeah.
Mike, can you hear me, boss?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Okay. Yeah, man, I appreciate the views. You know, my passion, and I'm not gonna, say that I'm sorry for being passionate or anything, of course. But the reason why it got under my skin is because of the fact that I know we got a lot of stars and a lot of talent on this team. And it's not deep. Of course, we're struggling with twos right now. But our start in 22 is at least a 10-win season. At least 10 wins right now when I start in 22. Some people might agree, some people might disagree. But I think our start in 22 can win at least 10 games with solid coaching. Especially, they can go definitely undefeated in the Coastal. I don't understand how they even think they should be able to mentally fathom losing a game to North Carolina, losing a game to Duke, in anything but basketball or rape charges. Um, and that's just my mindset as a go getter, as a Miami Hurricane, as a man. Like, you're gonna have to show me that you're better than me. And I get where you coming from as far as all the time being so hyped about it and then being let down. I'm still the same one who came with all that energy versus LSU. A lot of people who, if you watch my show against LSU, you think we went and won the game, but we didn't, because I knew that we had the talent to go out here and fight with these young men. And now they have a coach that's gonna let them off the chain. The dog is off the leash. He gonna let them go out there and bite. Could it be a 9-4 team? Yes. And that's my honest opinion. This team could either be 9-4 or it could easily be 11-1, 12-0. That's the range, depending on how the coach's connection to the players, how it goes. Yet again, I appreciate your subscription. I like I like your viewpoint. I like your comments. And next time you talk to my cousin Santana Moss, man, tell him you rock with the Holsum one, man. That's my cousin, man. So much love, and I appreciate you. Hello? Are we still on? Can anybody hear me?
All right. I think my mic went out for a second, but he just went off. I told him we had a great evening. Damn.
Oh, so he didn't hear anything I said?
No, he heard you.
Oh, okay. I can hear him respond.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't. He just he kind of left it at that, but he agreed with you. Okay. But he had to go for the evening. Yo, Candy the Desert with $2 donation, dude. I appreciate that. Man, I'm gonna address it. We haven't looked at the chat for a quick while, but I see you. So Broad quarterbacks, and I saw one comment that I really liked, and I'm with you. Brandon says, let me see if I can find it. None of us know who got the edge. It's all caught off. Let the best man win. I trust our coaching staff to make the right decision. That's the most accurate statement you could say right now. Any other statement you'd say right now is biased. I mean, who's your fan favorite? Like, I've been saying Williams, and I'm gonna still stick with Williams. He's my fan favorite because he went to high school right around me. But we got another caller in here. I'll pick it up. What's good? What's good? Who do we have on the phone line here? Oh gosh, I did it again. Who do you have on the phone line here?
Why is everybody hating on me tonight, man?
We got Slim Shady King hating on you, bro. I don't think no one hating on you. Hold on, let me make sure Holsum can hear you too.
Yeah, I can hear him.
What I had said was,
Let him say what he got to say.
47 Sports, the recruiting composites they keep up with, Florida State is the fifth most talented team in the country by all the recruits they have. That's what I said. And they are.
Okay.
I'm going by their numbers. I wasn't making nothing up.
I'm saying, where are you heading with that? So 247 says they have the fifth most talented team. And?
That was my point in saying that Florida State is a more talented team than Miami is. That's what else I'm talking about. I think we were somewhere around the mid-20s. Maybe high teens, somewhere in there.
Look, if people can have arguments of who's got more talent or what, but I don't care what more stars they have. What I've seen from Florida State on the field and what they've picked up in recruiting, I do not see there being 15 spaces of a difference in athleticism. I mean, what you're telling me is it's going to take
I didn't say that. I think that they're a far and away better team than we are. All I said was, according to that ranking, they're a more talented team than we are.
Well, according to the rankings, Tate Martell is the next incumbent Heisman Trophy quarterback, and Tommy Kennedy was one of the best pickups we had through the transfer portal.
Especially the defense.
I don't believe anybody's going to win a Heisman until they actually played a full game.
But I'm telling you, they put Tommy Kennedy as the second best pickup, I think. Second or third best pickup on our transfer portal by his talent. 247. Recruiting portal. Huh?
When he a JUCO transfer?
No, he ain't JUCO transfer. He's from Butler.
Butler, okay. I couldn't remember where he came from.
Yeah, he wasn't JUCO. But they put him up talent-wise, and he can't even be, as far as I'm hearing, he's 13. Like, he's on the field. I wish him all the best. I'm not saying he can't improve, but
it's not all about talent either. Your players have to fit your system as well. You can have a 5-star recruit that plays like a 0-star recruit if he's in the wrong system for the way he plays.
I'm with you, but what I'm saying, if we're going to look at these 247 stats of how they rank these guys or whatever, oh man, we can't, man. We just can't. Miami, you want to tell me Miami's a team that can't win 11 games this year with our ACC Coastal schedule? I don't see why. Where in the world, like?
I didn't say they can. I said I don't think they will.
Okay, that's different. That's fair. I mean, that's just the bet you make or don't. But Holsum.
It's not unreasonable to think that a guy that has never been a head coach ever in his life is going to make mistakes. Perfect example. Georgia was a more loaded team than Miami in 2016. Yes or no?
That's fair. That's fair. We're pretty close, but I think that's fair. Sure.
Okay. What did Kirby Smart do with a more loaded team in 2016?
Well, if we're talking about Kirby Smart, there's nothing to. He's got the same exact record in his first 3 years.
I'm talking his first year as a head coach. First time he's ever been a head coach.
You comparing SEC.
He made some numbskull mistakes.
Sure, but he was in the SEC. I mean, he was in the SEC. If he was in the ACC, that's what Rick did in the ACC. I think we finished off in our first years the same exact records. If that was like a game difference.
I think Georgia was 8-4. They lost. That's something I want to lose show. And I watched him get mad about it all year. It was kind of funny. But my whole point was, I mean, you can, just use Kirby Smart as a recent example, but you can even look at, a back example. Nick Saban's first head coaching job ever. Not very good.
Okay, But I don't think that's the difference. I don't think that's the difference of how many years your head coach has been head coaching that, means you'll be successful or not. And I don't think you completely got lucky.
Can Slim Shady hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Because my camera isn't coming on. I don't know.
I hear you. Slim Shady, you hear?
Yeah, I heard it just then. I caught for what he said because it's like he was starting to talk and then I caught him.
Okay. So your whole argument is the fact that there's a possibility, there's a percentage chance that Miami can't win 11 games because based on other people who play in a harder conference, we can't win 11 games in the sorry ACC Coastal with the new first-time head coach.
I'm basing that off of a first-year head coach, and first-year head coaches make mistakes.
Correct, which is a valid point, and which is why I think when we run into quality teams such as your Clemson, such as maybe Michigan or Ohio State, who we might play in a bowl game, we might have some issues as far as little things like knowing when to call timeout, knowing when to galvanize the troops and calm them down after a big drive, and how important first half timeouts are the second half timeouts. I get that and I respect that opinion. But don't take shots at me calling me a so-called coach because I have a different opinion than you.
Well, you're taking shots at me, man.
Oh, God.
I'm a so-called nothing boss. I promise you that. There you go.
I'm just saying, hey, throw shots at me, I'm going to throw them back. If you don't throw shots at me, I don't throw them back.
What was the shot I threw at you?
Everything you had to say about everything I had to say.
We had a difference of opinion. Yes, we have a difference of opinion. And yeah, I might have called you 50 years old, but I never took a shot at your profession, never took it in saying that you aren't something that you get paid to and kids depend on you to do. Okay? So don't ever disrespect me like that.
I don't know anything. How do you know I've never coached football? So I don't know what I'm talking about.
I never said you didn't. We could have a difference of opinion and still respect each other as men, but don't take a shot at my job and what my school does to pay for my education and the time and effort that I put into something based off of a difference of opinion. And I'm not angry. I'm not fussing back and forth with you.
My intelligence because you don't like what I have to say.
Right. I can dislike what you have to say, but I'm not going to disrespect you as Slim Shady Kane, the man. I will never disrespect another man and what he has to do. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Well, that's what you did because you took a shot. You took a shot at my profession. You took a shot at my intelligence.
By saying that we have a difference of opinion?
No, you called me stupid without saying you're stupid.
Listen, man. If I ever want to call,
31 years old, dude. I've been around the block. I'm from some of the same neighborhoods that you and Alonzo are from.
Okay.
You get over on me, bro.
Hey, man, listen. I'm not going to have no argument with no grown man over no phone about you, a difference of opinion. You called into the show to talk about Miami Hurricanes football, and we can continue to do that. If you have a problem, come find me August 24th.
You brought it up, sir, not me.
Okay, because I'm a man and I'm a step to you about anything you got some slick
to
say.
I'll just tell y'all, Miami Hurricanes have let us both down, and we've had a lot of hype, and we have a difference of opinion on how we can get over that hype train and get into practicality and a different, debate on the time phase. But I think the one thing we could all corral around is the fact that we've made the right steps. The staff is in the place. The players are there. And we as fans have just got to corral around them and just not doubt them and be fully supportive of them and the staff. And regardless of the results, whether we like them or not, we know that they're going to be putting their best effort and their intentions to get a successful season.
Oh, I completely agree with you. Yeah, and I've told you before when I've called him, the worst I see them going is 9-3. It's the absolute worst because to me, maybe they'll beat Florida, maybe not. Florida State, to me, flip a coin, you can pick that one. Because, I mean, even as bad as Florida State was last year, we only beat them one. And if anybody ever sleeps on a Bud Foster defense, you shouldn't be anywhere near coaching football or on a football field because Bud Foster is one of the great defensive coordinators of all time.
So
I think Virginia Tech has always got a shot.
I mean, I have respect for Virginia Tech, but I personally feel like we've beaten better Virginia Tech teams than the ones they're going to bring out this year, though, is my opinion on that. I don't think that they're –
I think you're right, but I think I also see – I go back to like what was I think it was 2009, might have been 2008. I think we lost to a worse Virginia Tech team. It was a Thursday night game. It was the ones where it was 2010, excuse me. Because there was that one game that they wore, those 2010 Nike Pro Combats with green helmets.
Here's, I think, what me and Holsum basically were when we got living it and ticked off is basically around this one idea. So, okay, those are our 3 games that are questionable that we're all corral around. But other than the Florida Gator game, the other games, we are basically not the underdog in any way. And to come with the presupposition that there's not a chance that Miami can win 11 games this year when we are favored to win at least 11 games or be very close to winning them. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I think that it can happen, and just because it's a first-year staff or whatever, it's not a first-year complete staff either. Just responsibilities are changed around, and, some things have been, boldly made. And I think it's for our defensive side of the ball is all there. And our offense is getting overhauled with.
I understand that, but that's like I said, you're talking a guy that's never been a head coach before. Granted, I think he'll be a good head coach. Not at all saying he's not going to be a good head coach, but like I said, it's just going by track record of pretty much anybody that's been a first-time head coach. I mean, as good as Scott Frost was at UCF. When he first got to UCF, they were horrible.
I'm curious on your thought. I don't think this is you put this up. So, I want to make sure. Did you didn't make this comment about us? Can we beat UCF? Did you?
No, that was Mike Davis.
Okay, but I want to hear your opinion. Be very clear about this one. Do you think that's even a question, or you feel the same way?
I think it's a question if that quarterback is healthy, because that quarterback that they have is very, very, very good.
Milton, Mackenzie Milton. I don't think he's going to be playing for them.
He's an NFL quarterback. He brings.
I don't think he's playing football as what it looks like.
Yeah, he might be done. He broke his leg in too many places. He might be out for a while. Personally, I think Slim Shady Kane made some pretty good points, especially about a young coach. As a profession, I do understand that some experience is one of the best teachers when it comes to this sport of football, especially as a head coach, and being able to. And now you have to control all 3 facets of the game, and not only that, it's not an NCAA 14 thing. It's really like you're in control of all 126 people under your tutelage, from coaches to assistants to DAs to student assistants, donors, all that type of, like, everything that happens in that program. Kids having kids. You get a call at 4:00 in the morning. Your starting running back just had his baby. You got to get up and go, and things like there's a lot of things that happen that a head coach has to worry about. And at a big time program like Miami, I can see why some people might have the thought process that he couldn't do it. But he's been around some pretty good head coaches. He's been around Mac Brown. He's been around Dan Mullen. He's been around Mark Richt. He's been around Jimbo when he was a GA. Bobby Bowden when he was a GA for 1 year. So he's been around and has really been helping and kind of been like the assistant head coach, but not listed as the assistant head coach over the last couple of seasons. So I could get where someone would have that mindset. And I do understand where you're coming from, and he has a lot to prove, honestly, from the head coach position because it's different.
And it's not saying that he won't do good, but that is a cause for concern.
Correct. Correct. And it's something that we have to at least have the conversation about, as opposed to just going in and saying, hey, we're winning the natty. That's what I don't want people to think that's what we're saying. And that's not what I'm saying. That, oh, we're just going to go and turn into, number 5 team in the country. Clemson, here we go. Let's go toe to toe. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he has seen it done wrong for the last couple of years. And one thing about being a good coach is knowing what not to do. Knowing what to do is something that you can learn, but knowing what not to do, knowing what pitfalls you saw other coaches fall into, and you can kind of skate over that, you got to try to focus in on that too.
Yeah, and I also think he's helped himself by surrounding himself with guys like Dan Enos that were head coaches at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Great point. Especially
I thought it was
with
huge.
Dan. Go ahead.
That's also where I kind of take, me thinking Perry's going to be the starter.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at Jaron, look at Tate. Neither one of them have any kind of meaningful game experience. Perry's the only one that does. And that goes back to the point you made earlier, Anton, about quarterbacks being able to read defenses and stuff like that. Perry has the most experience and probably the most skill out of the three because you only get it from game time.
Yeah.
Being able to read defense.
Yeah. I feel the same way. And I think
That's why I think Perry will be the starter.
I'm with you on that one. As of today, like if I have to put money on it, he's going to be the starter. I've been saying Williams because he's a fan favorite. It's just a biased statement. That's all. I mean, but yeah. Yeah, I think he's just got to prove it. The fact that what he's showing in practice can be brought up to the field during an intense moment when he's getting stuff thrown in his face. And honestly, the spring game, what he showed us, it was not positive. Was not a step forward. He had guys in his face, whatever, and he played, made airful decisions. And when he had, what's the word that I'm looking for? Well, basically, when he had stuff in his face, he wasn't able to be composed like Perry or Tate could outmaneuver it, And I think that's the position. But here's the thing: what I'm really happy about, and what I heard Enos, he said he's giving them a personal workout session of what they got, or workout like list of what they got to do, and they know their issues. Every one of these quarterbacks know their issues better than any of us can ever do. And this whole offseason, they're putting work in. The question is who addressed that need and fix it, because I think. If Perry addresses his issue, I think consistency is, I guess, the biggest one for him. If he gets his consistency down, he's winner. If he doesn't get the consistency down, then you look at Tate and you're like, can he throw? Does this guy throw and be
but you almost answered that question yourself earlier when you said Perry, you were talking about the Pitt game. Perry went 3 of 18 in that game with 10 drops. Take those 10 drops away, he's 13 of 18. He's only missed 5 passes.
Well,
that was
you're not wrong.
Brought up earlier.
But chemistry with the team is a big thing too, of who wins the quarterback position. It is. So
I think that's what had so much of a detriment last year is, and I said this on a lot of those shows, your quarterbacks and your receivers have to have that chemistry. And when you are swapping quarterbacks every 3 or 4 games, nobody can get chemistry and timing down.
Exactly. I'm with you exactly. So I'm curious to see who they're lining up with their chemistry and stuff. But I love JT, and I hope he has like the most like craziest season, just goes like lights out and destroys defenses. But what I've kind of seen so far from practice is I'm feeling like Osborne might get that chemistry and get at least more attempts thrown to him, and he actually might have more production there. Osborne is using his experience, and he knows he needs that chemistry with the quarterbacks. And so this whole offseason, he's putting – I'm not saying Jeff Thomas is not, by the way. I'm not at all. But I'm just saying that, yeah, I'm really glad that we've got this as an Osborne that knows that chemistry is such a big thing, and he's working on it with the quarterbacks. I think it's huge.
I think that comes with experience, having an older guy come in and really be able to focus in on what's important and really help teach these young men what's important. Because honestly, if Cager was the big bro they had to look up to, he's the senior on the wide receiver core. We're in trouble. That's when you have a guy like that who's a cancer, and he's the leader. That's a problem.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad that what Diaz has done in addressing that with the transfer portal. I hope he gets a couple more pickups. We'll see. But it's things like that Diaz is doing that a first-year head coach doesn't always do. And it's stuff like that to where the fact that he's a first-year head coach is honestly in the most behind in my mind. Like I do not think I'm going to ever use that as the reason of why we lost a game this season. And I'm not saying that I'm putting him to a higher responsibility. I just don't think that's going to be the biggest issue. I think he's been all around it. He knows what's got to be done. At least get the wagon going. The bigger issues are going to be players playing with a passion and standard when things aren't going the right way and responding to it and getting over that hype train.
I don't think that's going to be a problem with Diaz. I think that's going to be the furthest thing from a problem with Manny Diaz and coach.
What would you say is the biggest problem that Miami Hurricanes are going to have this season? Why we'll have issues and losses?
Well, it comes into something else that Holsum disagreed with. I think it's depth. Because, and you talked about this on your show, and I've seen a lot of people comment on it, outside of just to use linebackers as an example. Before anybody else got hurt, everybody was wondering, what are we going to do at linebacker if one of the starting three gets hurt? Because their backups didn't look anywhere near as good as them. And that's what I mean by, I don't necessarily mean 5-star players 3 deep. I just mean quality players 3 deep. You don't have to be a 5-star player to be a quality player 3 deep. But when you have Robert Knowles or Burns in your depth chart at third string, your third string is not very good.
I disagree on that because I don't see anything in our secondary linebacker. They don't have experience, but that's because the other guys are starting in front of them, and there's no reason they wouldn't start. They don't have experience, but I don't think they don't have the talent and what they need to be successful. I have my trust in whether it be, we got they're all injured too. But DeAndre Wilder, Jennings Jr. I don't see issues with them. I don't. Why? What's your argument for them not being the guys that you're looking for at depth?
They're not the only ones. I'm not convinced with some of the depth we have at linebacker. I'm not convinced with some of the depth we have at either line.
You don't like our defensive line depth?
The starters, great. Their backups, I think, are just fine. But once you get to that third string, I think is where you have a problem. And that is, perfect example, look at Clemson this past year. They're rotating out linemen almost every other play.
I think Miami definitely has that asset on defensive line. I do not know a single dadgum. We're debating who the heck we're going to start at defensive tackle through third string. You're like, okay, we got these great defensive ends, and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's still 4 playing up. But they're like, okay. Let's go for Severe. I see us planning guys to rotate. Holsum, go ahead.
Hold on. I think I'm getting where Slim Shady's coming from. So let me explain to you what he means. So like in the coaching industry, when we talk about like quality depth, that means that we can go too deep and we can exchange a player and not see much of a drop off. So I get where he's coming from as far as him saying like our starting 22, 11 on both sides might be ACC caliber, might be up to par. But then like behind them are iffy, and then behind them is basically walk-on level. So I do get where he's coming from, and it's going to take time to build that depth. That's where you get your quality recruiting from. So I think that's where he was going with it as far as like we used to in the heyday of Miami Hurricanes football, and the best college football teams now are literally three scholarship player deep defensive tackles, and their true freshmen they're on maybe the NASCAR package and they barely play. So maybe that's where I'm in my mind. I'm thinking that's where he's coming from and what he's saying, depth wise in the depth conversation.
That's
And to
exactly right.
create good competition, in order to create good competition, you got to have quality depth so that the twos push the ones, the threes push the twos. So I think that's where he's coming from.
Exactly.
So and it's like when we have the conversation of being the you again, that's where you start pulling in stuff like that. And that's where the conversation spews into, do we want to just be good in 2019 or do we want to be good for the next decade? If you want to be good for the next decade, you got to have the conversation about quality depth. Over a year in and year out, we're bringing in quality guys at almost every position that's allowed. And I think that's where Slim Shady is coming from with the psychological change of the youth.
Yeah, I have agree with
That's
y'all.
exactly where I'm coming from. Look at it like this. This is a perfect example. All right, go back to their last championship caliber team. All right, your running back core: Portis, McGahee, Gore. Any three of them could have been starters. And one of them slacked up, went down, something. Their starting job's gone, and they're not going to get it back because perfect example. 0-1, Clint Portis goes down. Wilson Gage's going to come in. Portis probably lost his spot because we all saw how good McGahee turned out to be. Same goes with Frank Gore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you hit the nail on the head. It's exactly what I was talking about. Quality, depth, and all three levels that can't compete.
But without having a year like this, where you didn't have that depth, but you got wins, and because you met the hype train, you had your passion, the staff knew what it was to get there, is how you start creating that building point of three depth, decades long of success. But without this, you can't get there. You can't skip over. And I think what we have right now is that step in that direction. And it is a step we have to take. We have to get those 10 to 11 wins to get to that depth that you're talking about.
Right. And then, like, another thing would be to give even more of an example of what Slim Shady is saying. So you see how we've had the great production at defensive tackle these last 2 seasons? What he was saying is, okay, well, Kendrick Norton, who Gerald Willis turned around and played that same position at a higher level, that one technique. Well, Gerald Willis, and then he did play a lot more three, and Pat Duffy was forced to play the one. So in this scenario, it would be Gerald Willis as the starter, Kendrick Norton as a backup, and Nestor Silvera on third team. That's what he's illustrating as far as three deep. You don't know what's coming at you any play. We got a guy that can come and get after the quarterback or stop the run at a high level. That's what he's saying as far as illustrating, and that'll give the Canes fans and those that are listening an opportunity to think of, okay, if we had all three of those guys at the same, they're all listed as three, they're all listed as one techniques on the same depth chart. It's Gerald Willis as a starter, Norton coming in on second string, and that's their third. And then all three of them are competing week in and week out for reps.
Y'all, it's been a good time. We've been streaming for about an hour and 40 minutes. I think we should be summarizing it up. I appreciate everyone that's been in the chat and channel, and those that called in, and you, Slim Shady, Canes, everyone that donated and all that. But I'll give you this, Slim Shady. You got any last comments? I'll let you go for the evening.
Like I said, man, I think they have the ability to get 11 wins this season. I want to see them do it. Like I said, 3 games is really going to determine this season. And I agree with what y'all said about Florida game. Even if you lose it, I want to see smart. Florida State, even if you lose it, I want to see smart. If I see Hart in those 3 losses, if they get those 3 losses, to me, the season's still a win.
Definitely.
And despite what gets said, I think there was more of some misunderstandings earlier. I'm going to apologize to the Holsum one. brother, I'm still subscribed to your channel. I watch your videos. We disagree on a few things. Ain't no biggie.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I got a little hot-headed. Just we all get real fired up about our Canes, man. And my biggest thing is just standing in the paint for my opinions, regardless. But it did get a little hot-headed there real fast. But yeah, I do appreciate your subscription, man. I hope you continue to watch the show. I hope you continue to support us, as I know you will. But we got to do our thing as Canes family to support each other. And like I said, that's one thing about family. We might disagree, but we're still together, no matter what. So I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling us, Slim Shady Kane. You have a great evening.
All right, y'all too.
Holsum, you got any last comments and things you want to summarize for the channel, the chat?
Yeah, y'all saw me get a little out of character there. At the end of the day, man, not to steal Paul's outro or Coach Coop's outro. At the end of the day, it's always good when you rep you. Not saying to say that, but as a Canes family, dog, it's nothing like it. And we all get so passionate. We all get so driven about this U because we know how good it can be. And we're just all mad that it isn't what it could be. And that's why you get frustrated. That's why you get, you get people going at it back and forth. But, all this energy that we're pushing in, we could be pushing this energy into being at games to support our players. You know, I, maybe I would have got kicked out of the Notre Dame game if I was there because I probably would have been a little too hyped into that game. I probably would have ended up going toe to toe with a Notre Dame guy because I just get real energetic about my Canes, man, and that it shows that we care, the players care, and that's why I like players like Nestor Silvera so much because you can see like him and Bandy and Blades. Um, you can see that they bleed this.
Yeah.
They go to bat for it. They will fight for it. Like they may not do all the chirping. Like Nestor Silvera doesn't do a lot of talking off the field, but on the field he's going to dog you and let you know that it's going to be a fight, and you better come prepared for a 12 round or 4 quarter fight. So in conclusion, thank you Slim Shady Canes for calling in. Thank you Mike Davis for calling in and giving you all his opinion on things. It's a little different reading the comment, and then it's also actually listening to your voice and hearing how you're saying what you're saying, and that's how everything was able to get understood. Thank you for the donation, Slim Shady Canes, $3.05, 305 from the crib, and we repping it. Yet again, hey, if you haven't had a chance to come to my channel, uh, we're doing good things on my channel. We're doing good things. The new school Canes, period, are all doing well. We all are grinding. We all are growing, as a family. Um, and we just want to say thank you all to everyone who was in. I can't see who was all in the live streaming, but just want to appreciate each and every one of you. We got 23 likes, so we had at least that many people in. So just want to say thank you to everyone that's coming to the channel. And you all don't know how much work we put in, with studies and reading and watching film and jotting down notes. This is 5 books. I got 6 over there of wanting to be knowledgeable enough about this to have a conversation, put our face on channel, and truly know what we're talking about. And we appreciate you all coming, liking, subscribing, and it means a lot to us when you come into our live streams. Whether you donate or not, it means a lot to us that you are here. So I'll let the leader of this channel sign us off. Yet again, thank you all. Check me out at the Holsum one, HOLSUM, the number 1, and come fellowship with me.
Definitely. And all that's that is definitely, it's a great day to be a Cane. It's a great family. None others that you would see. I will mention one thing. If you go and see my post on the community tab, help a brother out. He has had some difficulties. He's got a GoFundMe page. We got to reach out. We got to watch out for other folks. And so definitely check that out. Please do. And I appreciate all that did donate and y'all support, liking and watching. It means the whole lot. And I appreciate huge shout out to Holsum One. Just a spur of the moment. We were going to do it yesterday. Things didn't work out, but he's staying with me, Rubro, and we were able to do a chat tonight with all y'all. I had a great time. So be sure, definitely check out his channel. If you have not subscribed, I don't know what the heck you're doing. Be sure to subscribe to him. He's got great content, stepping up his game all the time with the knowledge. Be sure. And at the end of the day, guys, it's always all about you. Y'all have a great evening. Peace out, y'all.
Of course. Go Canes, baby.